ICE had been conducting a large-scale immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis as part of a federal crackdown that saw hundreds of agents deployed to the city earlier in the week. Local leaders had publicly objected to the expanded federal presence in their neighborhoods. On this morning, a group of agents was on a residential street near East 34th Street and Portland Avenue, just blocks from where George Floyd was killed by police in 2020. The atmosphere was tense and locals were watching, filming, and in some cases protesting the enforcement operation.
At about 9:30 a.m., Renée Good had just dropped her 6-year-old son at school and was driving home in her maroon Honda Pilot. She appears on footage driving down the neighborhood street and encountering a line of federal agents. The SUV slows and stops roughly sideways in the street, not blocking traffic deliberately, but caught in the middle of moving between ICE vehicles. Several ICE agents were on foot. One agent appears to approach her vehicle. Another stands in front of the Honda as it starts to move. It's important to note, video clearly shows the SUV moving away from the agents, not toward them, at the moment the shots are fired, though federal authorities have disputed this interpretation. Renée Good was not charged with any crime that day and was not a target of the enforcement action. According to family statements, she had been part of neighborhood. As the footage continues, 2 ICE officers walk toward the Honda. One leans into the vehicle, grabbing the handle and speaking, shouting, through the open window. In some angles, you can hear agents demanding that the driver get out of the car. The driver begins to reverse and turn. Whether intentional or not, the SUV moves backward and then forward in a direction away from the agents. As this happens, one ICE officer steps in front of the vehicle, placing himself directly in its path, and raises his firearm. Engineers and legal analysts have said that placing a body in front of a moving vehicle is an extremely dangerous act, but it is shown clearly on multiple angles of video. A split second later, in less than a second, the officer fires several shots at the driver. Within minutes, bystanders begin reacting. Many are heard yelling, calling for help, and expressing shock. Some ask federal officers why shots were fired. Others move to assist. Emergency personnel arrive, move Renée to the sidewalk, and begin CPR. An ambulance arrives and departs without sirens at approximately 9:52 a.m. Hundreds gather near the scene, anger mounting, with protesters demanding answers and accountability from federal law enforcement. Local leaders condemn the shooting in stark terms. Within hours, federal officials, including the Department of Homeland Security, released statements claiming the officer acted in self-defense, asserting the vehicle had attempted to strike agents, and labeling the driver a threat. President of the United States echoed those claims on social media. However, independent video analysis verified by rights groups and media outlets shows that the vehicle was moving away from agents at the moment of the shooting, raising serious questions about the need for deadly force. Human Rights Watch has stated that the videos do not support claims that the woman posed an imminent threat that justified lethal force. Local officials, including the mayor of Minneapolis, rejected the federal account and demanded federal agents leave the city. Many protesters marched through the streets chanting, holding placards, and calling for justice.